Hello everyone, Noble Comics here, again with another costume review. Now, I feel like we've been a little bit too generous lately, focusing only on some of the better costumes in comics, so today I wanted to focus on one that is not one of the better costumes. But I do want to give it a fair shake, and maybe by the end of this I will have a new perspective on the subject. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, today we will be reviewing the classic costume of the Avenger with no nickname, Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye is an interesting character with an interesting costume that has gone through its fair share of redesigns, especially lately. I will touch on these a little bit later, but I really want to focus on the original iteration that we see here. And that said, let's jump right into it. So, starting with the good. I do like the color scheme of Hawkeye. I've always been a big fan of purple. Even though it may be a bit bland in this look, just different shades of purple. And also doesn't really have much to do with a hawk, but it's not a bad color. This costume would probably benefit with some color diversity, at least maybe some accent colors. I don't know, something to kind of break up the monotony of just the pure purple look. He really just looks like a circus character, which he is, so that does tie into his character. You know, seeing the positives out here of the kind of circusy look. There's definitely also some Captain America influence in here. We see that with like the flared out pirate boots like Captain America has, and sort of that scale armoring around the neck like Captain America has. The character, but I don't really know how much it adds to it either. Um, yeah, that might be everything. That might be all the good. So on to the bad it is. What do I even gotta say? Look at this. Look at this suit. Who designed this? Stevie Wonder? Pretty much every design element of this suit just makes you sit back and wonder what the hell were Stan Lee and Don Heck smoking whenever they created this guy. There are so many like god awful bad choices that it's actually a little overwhelming. Like surely this character was just meant to be a one-off throwaway. Surely they did not design a main character to look like this. But let's make it easy. Let's take a breath and just go top to bottom. So, starting with the top, the mask. Maybe the most atrocious, most terrible design aspect of the whole suit. Needlessly, also. That is not what a hawk looks like. I mean, what the hell, man? The eyes flaring out to the side and up is just ugly, especially if the eyes are still visible. It's not like he has some big Spider-Man eyes or anything. It's just a mask that for some reason looks like that. Then on the forehead we have that nice H for Hawkeye, which by now you should know I'm not a fan of the letters marking a hero. I much prefer symbols, maybe like an arrowhead or something. But no, we've got the H. That's all we get. And as far as I'm concerned, this H doesn't really stand for Hawkeye. Maybe horrible, hideous, horrendous, harmful to the eyes. Maybe, you know. But no, we'll say it means Hawkeye because they couldn't think of a symbol for an arrow. It's not like an arrow has a pretty recognizable symbol in an arrowhead. We'll just ignore that at this point. Or even like the fletching. No, we'll just go with an H. Okay, we're going to move down a little bit. We talked about the neck, and we said that's fine. But let's get down to the chest and the arms. Now, the chest here is a total, I would say a mess, but it's really just nothing. No symbols, no nothing. It's just an empty space with a couple straps and pouches. No marketable artwork or anything like that. Just straight lines going down it. Nothing interesting, just boring and ugly. Sure, why not? Now, the arms are bare for the most part, and that's actually not a bad thing. That actually probably should have been up there in the good elements. That is, I would say, a redeeming quality. Because at least if there's nothing there, there's nothing to make it ugly. Also, the artist can show off some musculature with the character, and the arms are probably going to be a focus a lot of the times with many different shots and panels of drawing the bow from different angles, so we get that like tricep, forearm musculature there. So no problem with that. But I do have a problem with these random straps or rings that are just around his bicep. Why? What purpose does that serve? Is that like having like the one earring in? Is that the kind of message we're putting off with Hawkeye? Maybe that could be, but totally useless design choice. It's just filling space with something because the designers obviously had no clue what to do with this throwaway character. And as I'm saying this, I do got to put it out there. I am probably one of the bigger Hawkeye fans out there, but come on, this is terrible. One of the worst. Or is it? Well, I guess we'll have to wait for the final review. Getting down to the waist, Hawkeye has this skirt flowing at the front and back with the same bad pattern of the torso. Now, I don't hate the skirt, okay? I'm a fan of that skirt look. I probably would have made it longer or maybe more wrapped around the body for maybe some sort of theming you could do. Because where is the theme with this character? Where's the consistency with the design? We go from like medieval arms and neck to whatever, just kind of bland chest, totally weird over the top head, and then this skirt coming off the front. It's what was the choice here? It's somebody just said like, oh, screw it, man, just give him a skirt. Like someone someone who's planning this thing obviously didn't give a shit about it and just decided, yeah, give him an armband and yeah, give him a skirt. Why not? Put scales on his neck. Maybe that approach does explain quite a bit of this design. Maybe that is how it went. Okay, let's continue going down to the hands. We've got the wrist gauntlets there. The gloves look fine. I guess they're fine. They're gloves. You can't really screw that up too much. Again, with those gauntlets, right? They're like gladiator gauntlets. Again, I'd have to ask, where is the theme of this character? Is that what circus people look like? They just have this mishmash of different stuff? Maybe. Maybe that's the case. If that is the case, they should have picked a different theme, because this one is bad. And you just have to hope that this is just laziness, or that this is just something, right? And I will say, I know having something on the wrist is not a bad design flaw for an archer. They have to have something for the recoil of the drawstring hitting their arm. I get that, but come on. This is ridiculous. This is just a bad design. And one thing about Hawkeye, though, as we often mention the silhouette test, is he does have a pretty positive performance. The boot, the boots that he has, the mask that he wears, having a bow, the quiver, do give him a pretty good silhouette look, right? So, that always helps. Does it help him that much? I don't know. It's not a pretty design, and I think people know that. And so when he has been redesigned, he's usually had some pretty good changes. Recently, in the last few years, he's had a couple pretty good new looks. And if we were going off his like looks for today, I'd probably give him like a 7. Good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Or a 6. Fine.
You're a good guy. I respect you trying.
But that's not what we're doing. For the classic suit, reviewing all the evidence, both the bad and the good, what little there may be, Hawkeye has been sentenced to a 2. Terrible. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and tell me some comic characters who you think need a costume review. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.